Hello, Garry families. Welcome to this week's episode of the Garry 5, where we bring our Garry home to your home. This week we wanted to talk about something that your students are probably talking about at home, which is the testing that will be happening here at Spokane Garry starting next week. And so we have Dr. Watson with us today, and we just kind of wanted to tell you some of the reasons behind the testing, some of the differences, and why it's so important. So I'm going to throw it over to her right now, and we can learn about that. Dr. Watson.
Thanks, Devony. Hi, everybody. Yes, we're moving into testing season for the month of May, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the difference between Smarter Balance testing, WeCast testing, and MAP testing. First of all, a couple of key concepts is that there are times when we have state testing, right? We've been used to that for years, the Smarter Balance assessment test. And so that assessment test is to measure how students are doing in math and in literacy. It's state required. It's a little bit of an accountability system for schools to make sure we are carefully monitoring where we are at with our kids on their literacy and on numeracy. Now, with the Smarter Balance test, there really is a long-term look for this. It's the purpose of saying, are our kids really on track for college and career readiness? So we have the opportunity to see, are our kids on a trajectory right now to prepare them for post-secondary learning? So that is the purpose of the Smarter Balance test. And when we get those results as educators, we can do a lot with that information. And we can see where students have gaps in learning, and we can make some adjustments here in our curriculum and here with just how we're teaching. Now, the WeCast test, which is the Washington Assessment, Comprehensive Assessment of Science, it's the same, it's the equivalent of looking at our kids in science and for a long-term trajectory, are they prepared for science at the post-secondary level? Are they on track? And so that's the purpose of those two state-required tests that kids will be taking. Actually, three: math, English, and science. Now, the MAP test, which is the measures of achievement progress, the MAP test is something that our school district does. Some other school districts might do it, but we choose to do it in our district. And it is also about literacy and numeracy. But its purpose is a little different because we give it in the fall right away, and it allows us to see where are our students at in time in September with meeting state standards. Now, we do that test again at the end of the year in May because we're trying to measure growth, student growth. And so wherever our kids are at, whether they're way ahead in the fall or they're behind and have gaps, what's important is that all teachers notice that and that we have a year's worth of growth after, 9 months, a school year's worth of growth. And it's another accountability piece that helps us look at the results as educators and say, regardless of where a student's learning needs are at, did we, after 9 months of instruction, grow them for what would be a full school year's growth in knowledge? And we monitor those results regularly here in our school, or more consistently. So I've just given a video today to all of the students about grit and perseverance and try hard and do your best. And what do we need from you, parents? Partner with us. Talk to your kids through the month of May when they're getting tired of testing and say, keep doing your best. It's not very long every day. It's an hour to an hour and a half every day. But help us keep the kids motivated to try their best and show us what they know. That'll help us as educators. So I'm going to turn it back to Devony, who's going to share some more information with you about a different topic. See ya.
Thank you. It's always great to know as a parent some of that information, especially how I can help my own students I have 3 kiddos in 3 schools who are going to be doing state testing, so it's important to remember, make sure they're getting enough sleep, make sure that they have some breakfast in the morning so that they can do their best. But I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about something really important and exciting that's coming up next week. May 1st through May 4th is Teacher Appreciation Week, and this is a really great time as parents to send an email, maybe send a little note, a thank you card to a teacher, and thank them for what they invest into your student. Being a teacher is not an easy job, and so it's always great when we can show that we acknowledge and appreciate the work that they're doing with our students. My own children will be sending thank you cards to all of their teachers, and so I would love if you could do the same, because it's really great as a school community when we can show our appreciation for each other. So thank you so much for joining us this week for this episode of the Garry 5, and check back in future weeks for new episodes. Thank you. Bye.